Chapter 10. The Young Man. Jack was standing right outside a big all-scary building with those windows you only can see through from the inside. It was mega scary for normal people. But Jack was one of the guys. And Jack wasn't afraid of anything, being such a good nutslapper and all. He was set to be briefed by the agency about a very delicate matter. He met a young man in a beautiful corner office at the top floor where you could see all the benders running around down there on the street, working their asses off. Looks like little ants, don't they? The young man said, and smiled. It was one of the young whippersnappers right out of school, and this one looked like an ass, Jack thought. And there was something completely wrong with this guy. But the two guys sat down and had a whiskey and a cigar and a little small talk about stupid benders. A thing government representative always would agree on. But Jack wasn't so sure about all that anymore. But he played along. As the government's man, you just play along. He even told the old joke about the two-pounders trying to get a double refrigerator up an innocent bender's ass. But they couldn't really seem to make it fit. Till another guy sees it and shouts, "Have you tried to close the doors?" And while they were talking, having a good laugh about dumbass benders, Jack noticed, with his trained agent eye, that this young man was very ambitious, due to the fact that from his nose hair were hanging some real big lumps of crap. His nostril hair was practically covered with dingleberries. I mean some real big nasty lumps of digested food, right out of a stinky anus. And now, hanging there, right out of an almost grown-up man's nose. Jack never really understood the phenomenon. He just thought it was plain nasty with crap on your face. But within some departments of the agency it gave a lot of status. And if they got some real pretty ones, they'll have them dyed in all kinds of colors, so they will match a pretty hat or something. And this guy had some really big lumps of crap right there under his nose. Jack spotted some fresh big juicy ones, but also some older dried up ones. And it told Jack that here we have a guy on the move. And when he was waving his head, all them fine dingleberries rang like little small Christmas bells. And it sounded real pretty. "Listen up," the young man suddenly said in an unpleasant loud voice, and looked very serious. In the middle of all that good humor, and, with crap out his nose, he proceeded. And he looked directly at Jack. "Agent Quarternud, I've read your file, and as I can see, are you the most experienced butt stuffer with nut kick on the side in the world? And those qualifications makes you the perfect choice for a very special operation. And trust me, Agent Quarternut, this one will take all your nut and ass slapping skills. And if you succeed, we'll let you go." Jack could now see that the young man looked quite excited, and little drops of sweat was running from his forehead and down his nose, via the dingleberries, to his mouth. And he licked it like ice cream. It was what the young generation called God milk. It's a wonder drug. The more you sweat, and the more dingleberries you got, the higher you get. And those folks addicted to crap sweat really want to get high up, the young man continued. "You know, Jack." Now he stood up, bending a little forward towards Jack with eyes like those horses get just before a panic attack, and said in a clear voice, "Our only purpose in life is to see stuff disappear up a bender's asshole with a good nice nut slap. And if they complain, they're gonna get it." Jack could now see that the young man was sweating heavily, and little rivers of nasty crap sweat found the way down to his mouth. At this point, he was shouting, and his face turned reddish. Jack could see the dingleberry shaking under the heavy breathing. He thought it would be mighty good fun to grab one of them and give it a nice good yank, just for the heck of it. "This is important," he shouted. And then the young man kept on about new ways to expand the butt limit, and a brand new concept within the pet industry. now wildly shaking his arms and loudly explaining. And at this point you could hear the dingleberries playing nice little Christmas carols. And then he went total bananas and dropped his pants to demonstrate how to make a 300-gallon fish tank fit a butthole, including water, fish, pump, gravel and the whole shebang. When he suddenly realized that under the extreme physical activity during the demonstration he'd accidentally lost one of his favorite dingleberries in the fish tank. So it was all mushy and heavily dissolved. Now, the young man went total ecstatic and shouted like a maniac and started throwing stuff around and rambled about how hard and how much willpower it'll take a man to get exactly that particular dingleberry, 'cause it came from the governor of Alaska. And if anyone knew how stinky it was down her private parts and how much it was worth on the black market. At this point the young man was very close to losing it completely, and Jack thought that he'll give him a nice little nut slap just to calm him down. But at the same time, two big guys came in, and with several electric shock from a stun gun and a couple of pepper sprays up his anus, which is standard governmental procedure, the young man was not in a state of doing anything for a while, and they carried him away.